Evening, everybody. Today we're going to talk about some things just don't go your way in sport, in rugby, in life in general. So on Saturday we took a very long trip over to Hull. As I said before, we're based in Leeds, so Hull was about 2 hours away. So a long old trip, a big chunk out of the day, lots of waiting around, and one of those days where rugby really takes over absolutely everything that you do on that Saturday. But long trips can be exciting. In years gone by, we've had bus trips, and you kind of get excited for that, and then get excited for a few beers as you're on the way back, hopefully after a good win. And yeah, it's changed a little bit now. So lots of car journeys, lots of boys driving or being in pastures, and it's a long old way to kind of go. And actually, in my experience, we've really struggled with starting those types of games right. You've probably heard the expression of they're still on the bus, or they've still got the travel in the legs, all that sort of stuff. And that's definitely what we saw on Saturday. We came up against a team who were desperate. They were desperate to win. They ran harder, they hit harder, they tackled more, and they really started, and they hit the ground running right from minute one. And to be honest with you, I think probably as coaches and as the players, we struggled to try and get that momentum, try and get that sort of eagerness going as soon as we started, and we got hit with a really quick try, and then you sort of on the back foot. And actually, what happened with the game from there was there was two quick fire tries from absolutely nowhere. One a dropped ball from us, which their winger picked up and ran in from 60 metres, and just as you're sort of reeling from being hit twice with two really quick tries, we then straight off from the kickoff, it was like watching pinball, to be honest. I think we kicked it hit one of our players, which made everybody onside, which means the guy literally caught it underneath the post and passed it to one of his teammates, or scored himself. I can't quite remember. I've tried to erase it from my memory, to be honest. But all of a sudden, a long trip, a long day. We haven't quite got the start right. Captain pulled out before the start of the game. We have to reshuffle the pack. We have to bring in somebody who was on the bench who wasn't expected to start. So this long trip and this exciting away day has turned into a bit of a nightmare inside about 20 minutes, I think it was. And how do you recover from that? All of those changes, all of those things. And actually, like I said before Christmas, what we're trying to do is introduce this idea of not too high, not too low. And what you focus on is the next job. What can you control next? Because you can't go back. You can't erase those three tries. You can't say, oh, sorry, sir, we weren't ready. Well, can we just start again? It doesn't work like that in any sport. So, what do you do? How do you change? So as a coach, first and foremost, it is right. What can we control? What can we do? And what is the next job? So the next job at that point is to catch the kickoff. It's to clear your lines. It's to try and get the ball in hand, try and put some pressure on them, try and make the tackles stick. They're your next jobs. And as a player, that's exactly it. You might have knocked the ball on. You might have thrown that pass that was an interception. It might have been your kick that was charged down. You can't take those things away. So it's got to be, okay, well, that's been and gone. Let's put that to one side. We can deal with that later. We can work on that later. Right now, what does the team need? What do I need? How do I get back involved? And that's really, really important. And you know what? Yes, we didn't quite get the win. And actually, we didn't get out of the game what actually I think we deserved. Maybe we didn't deserve to win. Take those two anomalies in terms of tries out of it. It was a lot closer than what you think. Perhaps we didn't deserve to win. They were probably the better team on the day if we look at ourselves properly and actually analyse the game. But in the second half, the guys kind of showed what I want to talk about finally, which is never giving up. Keep pushing, keep the pressure on, because rugby, more than any sport, and a lot of people who have played or have watched or have coached will notice this, rugby more than anything, when you get momentum, it's really difficult for the opposition to wrestle it back. So, we were down and out. 4 tries conceded just inside sort of the second half, kind of leggy, missing energy, kind of missing a bit of focus here and there, for understandable reasons. We've had a difficult start. We're down by a few tries. We've not really felt like we've done anything wrong, and actually we looked like the team who were attacking the most. But then you find yourself down. But what happened was we score once. You score once. And then immediately everybody, the energy is up, the enthusiasm is up. It's brilliant to kind of see. Everybody's kind of jumping on board, everybody's getting involved, and then you get another try, then you get another try. And you can kind of see the opposition looking a little bit worried, kind of looking over their shoulder and thinking, oh, these boys are coming back. And I must say I was incredibly proud. And yes, unfortunately we didn't win the game, and unfortunately there was a try that killed us off towards the end. But I was really proud, and that's kind of, as a coach, seeing that as a blueprint moving forward to say, okay, actually these boys didn't give up. They fought for each other. That gives me encouragement for the rest of the season about what we can do, how we can work together moving forward. But any coaches, any players out there, if you've got any hints and tips about how to prepare yourself for a long trip or get that trip out of your legs before you start playing or coaching, drop me a message, because I have not found the magical formula yet. I've tried all sorts of different things. I've tried being really relaxed up until kick-off, give the boys kind of time, space, all that sort of stuff. I've tried switching straight on as soon as you kind of get your feet on the ground of that pitch, and switching straight on, trying to get everybody's mentality going straight away. We've tried laughing and joking. We've tried being serious. We've tried T&P or going straight into contact. We've tried all sorts of different things. So if there's anything that I haven't tried that actually works for you guys, drop me a message. It'd be really great to kind of get some comments back about what works for you. How have you found a right way to start right in terms of a game, but also how do you make that kick in when you've had a long journey to somewhere? How do you start right when you've got fatigue in the legs already from all of that travel?